blessing to our partners and to help especially the younger women have something to help them. What are some of the testimonials that you've received from Daystar?
Oh, gosh. I have had fathers call me and say, I just thought this whole thing was a woman thing because my wife went through it. And he goes, and then when my daughters were going through it, I was crying, and I got the Daystar creams, and he said, my daughters became more loving and gentle and relaxed, and the breast tenderness went away. And I mean, I love getting calls from the men. If you feel free to call me, but just give me time to get home because I'm from California.
I love that. I love that. Well, I think we have a couple of questions. We have someone on the phone right now. I believe this is Lucy from New Jersey. What's your question for Barbara?
Hey, guys. I hope you're doing well. I just had to double check something with Barbara before I buy. I have really sensitive skin and don't really do well with most lotions and perfumes. Do the creams have any sort of scents added, or are they odorless?
Okay,
the
Barbara.
creams are odorless, and also I may say this, the progesterone is micronized. So inside the cream, these little molecules, like little grains of sand, but smaller, and they go in, the progesterone goes into your skin in 3 to 5 minutes. After that, you could just take a washcloth and just wash off the base, because the only thing you'd be allergic to would be something in the base. But this is very, very pure. It's actually, one thing about other creams that you might find on the market, they have so many ingredients, and some of them you can't even pronounce. So people, companies think if I put more stuff in here, it'll look more important and it'll look more, worth its money, or whatever they're thinking. So they load in all these ingredients. This is basically progesterone in a jar, and you will be fine with it, and you can just, as I said, wash off the base, because once the molecules are in, you wouldn't be allergic to progesterone, because if you were, you'd be allergic your entire life.
Okay, all right. Another cream I want to talk about is probably, this is the best or the most sought after, is the Menopause Moisture Cream. And I'll tell you what, this is for menopausal women, because it's important that we have progesterone, but also this also has some bioidentical estrogen.
Yes.
Because estrogen helps us to sleep. I know that, right?
Yes. Yes.
So tell us about the menopause cream.
Okay, I want to say one thing about, there's a myth that menopause happens immediately and you're done.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You'll start leading up to it. So now you're sporadically having periods. Maybe it could be 8 years or ahead. You're starting to not have regular periods, but you're having some hot flashes, night sweats, foggy brain. So you can start using this before the actual date of menopause.
So even when you're just perimenopausal, right when you're starting to go through
when you're starting to go through.
That is a process of several years.
Yes.
Yeah. So that will help make the process easier.
Yes, because you're not going to have the fluctuations and the long periods of time with no hormones at all. And one thing with, if you go to a doctor, there's a test that will show you if you're in menopause. It's called FSH. And if that's 50 or above, they say you're menopausal. If it's 48 or 49, they go, no, you're not in menopause. Well, you're basically on the cusp. So you can use this before menopause.
Now, when you were working with Dr. Lee on this, he was kind of, if you will, someone who was out front early on talking about hormones. Give us a little bit of the background with your working with him.
Oh, well, Dr. Lee, I met in 1990, I believe. And we became friends. And his
first name is?
John.
John
R. Lee.
Yeah.
He called me an intellectual sponge because he liked to talk and I liked to learn. So he'd talk, I'd learn, talk. So over the years, anytime I had a question or whatever, I would call him, and he basically taught me everything. He had a book, it's out of print now, progesterone, the multiple roles of a remarkable hormone. And he traveled all over the world. He loved women. He wanted us to not suffer. And that's what my passion is. I don't want anybody to suffer.
Yeah. Well, this cream here, a couple of talking points, diminishes hot flashes, right? Balances excess estrogen, increases your energy, supports healthy bones, mental clarity, improves quality of sleep. What are some of the testimonials you've got from the menopause cream? Because I know many of you get the menopause cream and you love it. My mother loves it. Hey, Mom, you told me today. I've been using that for years, and she sleeps great. You know, she's in her 70s, and she's doing fantastic.
Well, I have a funny story about the woman. We were talking about the 35 symptoms of menopause, and the woman's watching, she's watching Daystar, and the husband's in the recliner, and he's sleeping, and I'm saying, well, it helps with libido, and it helps with your memory, and it helps with your energy, and it helps with your mood, and helps with your sleep, and on about the 35. And he, without opening his eyes, said, Margaret, order that cream. I have another lady that told me that her husband called and ordered it for her, and he said, this shouldn't be called the menopause cream, this should be called the men's friends cream.
The men's friends cream.
Men's friends cream.
So you've gotten lots of good feedback from helping
it's
people.
It's so popular.
Yeah.
Because people, women are getting so smart. We don't just believe that we have to take everything the doctor gives us.
Right, that's so good.
It's almost like if you feel ill, here's a pill.
Yeah.
Well, women are going, wait a minute, I don't want to do this anymore. And they're watching the show, and we're talking honestly. Everything we say is research-based, and we're not pulling anything out of the air. Progesterone's been in existence since 1930. It hasn't hurt anyone ever.
You're getting it from the Mexican wild yam, right?
Yes, and it's converted into the molecule. And then also, I had a woman say that she was on menopause, and now she's no longer on menopause, even though she's in menopause. I mean, there's so many testimonials, and we've got them all over the website.
I love that. Now, one of the things, Rachel, that people have asked for is, can we, could we sign up to get it monthly? I think it's like $26.99 a jar. And they said, can we get it monthly on a subscription? We haven't been able to do that in the past. Are we able to do that now?
Yes, I'm so excited. If you go to daystar.com/cream, then you can sign up for our convenient monthly subscription. And last time we offered a health product, they completely sold out. And so I want to encourage everyone, if you're listening, this is something that you're interested in, go ahead, sign up, order, because we are going to prioritize our subscription orders. And if you sign up for the subscription, then you're going to also save an additional 10% on each order, which is the most cost-effective way to get your creams with each month without delay.
Okay, well, during menopause, it can make you feel like you're going crazy, but really, you're just experiencing unbalanced hormones. Let's watch this together.
It's not that I lost interest in the things I once loved. I just couldn't do them anymore. Overwhelmed by exhaustion, depression, mood swings, and more. It seemed like my search for solutions always came up empty, and I'd almost given up hope. But then I found an answer, one that restored my life, giving me back the things I thought I'd lost for good. Now I have more energy than ever, and I love sharing my passions with the people that matter most. Renew your body and mind through balanced hormones. Call now or go online to get Menopause Moisture Cream today.
You have it. This is, of course, the Menopause Moisture Cream. It's in the purple jar. Now, the one that's for younger women or women who still have a monthly cycle, it's the ProHELP in the red jar. So that's how you remember that. Another really important cream that we talk about, because we don't want to leave the men out, is the Pro-MEN Prostate Crème. Now, Marcus Lamb used this, and he used it until he went to heaven. Now he doesn't need to use it because he's with the Lord. He's got a perfect body. But anyway, when he was here on earth, he used it, and it was a great blessing to him. It kind of explained, because sometimes men are kind of like, I don't know about this. So tell me about, what is this prostate cream? What's in it, and why is it good for men?
Well, men, of course, make estrogen. I don't know if everybody knows that, but men do make estrogen.
Wow.
And because estrogen actually helps them with their libido and their energy. So when they get over-estrogenized, which is the same thing that we're talking about with the xenoestrogens, and by the way, one of the worst xenoestrogens is car exhaust. So a lot of men jog or run, and so you're breathing in these xenos. So now your estrogen is overly developed. Your progesterone is now not balanced, and estrogen competes with testosterone. So now the men lose their libido, they get listless. If you have a man who's been get up and go, and he's been a social person, all of a sudden he wants to stay home. He's like blah. He doesn't have energy. He doesn't have enthusiasm. He's over-estrogenized. He's lost his men's spark and his little warrior heart. It's been beaten down by the over-estrogenization.
So how old should you be to start taking this cream?
Well, I always said 40 because prior to 40,
so 40 and up.
Yeah, but my son is 32, and he lives in Europe, and I have to send it over in box loads because he loves it, because because it makes him feel more manly.
Yeah.
I said, okay, fine.
What are a testimonial of this, real quick?
Oh, the Pro-Men. Okay, there was a lady. She didn't think her husband would order it, so she ordered it for him. So she gets the jar, and she says, oh, honey, I want you to use this cream. He goes, okay, fine. So she said a week later, he brought her breakfast in bed, was kissing her and asking her if she wanted to go out to dinner. And she said he had been blah. And so she called Daystar and said, I ordered a year's supply.
I love that. That's so funny.
Also, another woman told me, oh, I have not been receiving my husband's charms very much at all. But now the charms are coming fast and furious.
I love that. Well, unbalanced hormones don't just affect women, they affect men too. If you're a man suffering with stress or slowing down from the daily demands of life, then perhaps this cream is for you. Let's watch this.
I was burned out, exhausted, and anxious. It felt like every day was an uphill battle, and I was always losing ground. From spending time with family to fly fishing with my son, I just didn't have the energy to enjoy my life, the way I really wanted to. And I wasn't sure where to turn for answers. But then, I heard about a simple solution from a friend, and everything changed. Now I'm back to doing all the things I love, and making the most out of every moment. Begin your journey to better health through balanced hormones. Call now or go online to get Pro-MEN Prostate Crème today.
All right, so you've gotten a lot of good testimonials from the men using the cream as well.
Yes, actually there was a sheriff, and he was in Seattle, Washington, and he bought a jar from Daystar, and he was so pleased with the way he felt. He said, I'm buying it for my entire department. All the deputy sheriffs and all the semi-deputy sheriffs, and he's still purchasing because he calls me every now and then.
Wow.
That's amazing. Let's go to Helen from Ohio. She has a question as well.
Hey, Joni, thanks for having me on. Barbara, I've watched a few of your videos on YouTube where you share hope for people's hormones, and you do such a great job with that, by the way, and I can see the passion you carry for this topic. What makes you personally so passionate about hormones and helping people?
Because I've seen so many women suffering throughout my life. I'm not a spring chicken, girls, so I've been around the block for a long time, and I am passionate that people should not suffer. Our God is a good God. He didn't pick some of you to suffer, and some of us don't suffer. It's environmental problems that we're having. Our ovaries are shutting down and sputtering, and God is there to help us. This is from God's pharmacy, not man's. And when I get up in the morning, I want you all to feel like I do. Zippity-doo-dah, okay, let's go do some damage in the kingdom of darkness.
Amen.
And low hormones equals low joy. The world needs more joy. It needs your joy. It needs all of you to be joyful and happy and serene and to be loving. And you can't when you're cranky and out of sorts and you're low mood. And I actually, when I first started using the cream, I had low energy, low mood, wasn't sleeping, and no libido. After 3 months, it took me 3 months. Some women see the results in a day. After 3 months, I was alphabetizing my spices. I was sleeping like a proverbial baby. And then I started chasing my husband around the house. So I'm a believer.
How often do you take the cream?
I personally, because I'm over 60, I do it once a day because my hormones are not fluctuating up and down like yours are.
And you're taking the red ProHELP.
No,
I'm sorry. You're taking the
I'm on the
purple.
Meno.
You're taking the purple.
I'm the Meno.
Yes. And Rachel,
Rachel would be the red.
Can you take too much of it?
No.
Yeah.
A pregnant woman, which you were, you were making 300 milligrams of progesterone a day.
Wow.
Your little baby was in a little bath of progesterone.
Oh.
And so if it's not going to hurt a developing fetus, it's not going to hurt any of us.
Okay.
The other thing I want to say is that if you're wondering, because a lot of women go, well, I'm really not sure. I think I like this one. I think I like that one. What I did when I was from about 49 to 52, I alternated the creams. So I'd use this one day and that one the next day, or this one week and that one the next week. That way I got loads of lovely progesterone and I got the boost of the phytoestrogen.
But when you went through menopause, definitely the purple.
When you're done, yes. Yeah. Or if you've had we didn't talk about hysterectomies. Hysterectomies are surgical menopauses. And doctors will say, oh, I left your ovaries, don't worry. Well, the ovaries within 3 to 5 years of a hysterectomy atrophy. There's a symbiotic relationship between your ovaries and your uterus. Once the uterus is gone, the ovaries, they've lost their, friend. So they start to sputter. So I would, if I went through a hysterectomy, I would start right away on the cream.
That's the menopause cream?
Yes.
Okay, because that's like an early menopause when you have a hysterectomy.
Yes.
Okay.
And I do want to say that your website, because I was perusing it because it's revamped. It's so self-explanatory. Everybody should be able to know what they want. If they don't, if they're confused, they can just email me and I'll help them.
Okay, let's put that up. What is that website again for people to go and look, Rachel?
You just go to daystar.com/cream, and there's information about every single cream and who should take it, when you should take it, how much you should take of it, what's in it. Any question you can think of, as well as testimonials, are going to be on the website.
Okay, let's get that website up there if we can. But a couple of other things that you've talked about that we wanted to mention to our viewers today, because this is a big issue with people, and that is sleep. And you have a Restful Night Melatonin Crème with collagen.
Yes.
So tell everybody about this. Rachel, you probably want to take that tonight.
Yeah, I definitely. I'm so excited about this cream because there are so many people struggling with anxiety and their thoughts are racing and they're so tired and exhausted and they can't live the abundant life that God has called them to because they're so tired.
And they're surrounded by all of this
the
stuff.
screens.
I mean,
Well, let's give glory to God that He gave us a circadian rhythm.
Yes.
Because it was His wisdom. And we could be running around without sleep and say, oh, I don't need sleep. You need sleep. God designed us to sleep because it resets during sleep. It resets your hormones. And a hormone that's very important for sleep is leptin, which is your hormone that controls your appetite. So you don't sleep for 7 days, you can gain 2 pounds. Also during sleep, there's all the toxins during the day that go to the brain. During sleep, they're flushed out. So if you don't sleep for many days in a row, when you get up, you don't feel good because these toxins are still in your body. Also resets your memory ability. So all the things that we learn during the day, so that we remember them, there's like a little sorting that goes on during sleep. Another thing during sleep is that our emotions are sorted out. So if something really bad happened to you yesterday,
right.
If you get good sleep, you wake up, you go, oh, well, another day, here we go.
And, you know, a lot of the problem with regular sleep aids is you feel so groggy the next
don't
day.
even get me started on those. They destroy your memory.
Yeah.
And you don't go in REM. See, REM is your deepest sleep. You don't go in REM with them, so you don't have your memory. And then at first you're going to notice, but then after a while you're the walking tired because you haven't gone into deep sleep. So you're walking tired, but you think, you start to not notice it because you've become used to it. So I really am passionate about sleep. I get so much sleep.
Yeah.
And I think it helps me with weight control, it helps me with mood.
But you won't get that when you use the melatonin cream because it's
what you
natural.
do is you put it on at night, like 45 to 60 minutes before sleep, before you want to go to sleep.
And so I see it's got in here, it's got, of course, the melatonin, aloe vera extract, collagen, hyaluronic acid, avocado oil. It has lavender oil, rosemary leaf extract. All those are things that work together to help with your sleep. It doesn't
have a smell, so don't worry about the lavender. And those are natural preservatives. That's what the lavender and rosemary are. So you just put it on 45 to 60 minutes before you